We have a lot to cover in this episode. First, we paint the niche in the study and it turns out great. Then we also build some decorative elements in the study to really bring out the charm of the room. And on popular demand, we take you guys on a tour of one of our previous renovation projects. So without further ado, let's go.
4 years ago, we took a leap of faith and bought a Swedish manor house that once served as a hotel. Now, we're transforming it into our forever home. Join us as we bring this historic estate back to life, with all the craziness that comes with it. Welcome to Swedish Manor Life.
That looks amazing.
It does, right?
Chocolatey brown. Is that the color that you thought we were going to use for this piece when you were building it?
I had no idea actually, but this looks really good.
It does. And it's this color is best friends with the library color. And this is a color that we've been using on other areas in the house in one of the hallways. It's very chocolatey. This is the first layer, so of course it's going to be look better the second and third layer.
So cutting back to episode 7, we said this will be the base coat color, on top of which we're going to use other colors as well. Playing off of what we have around us in terms of the red, the yellow, the green, and perhaps a blue. Let's see. It's a color bonanza.
And you have also been busy trying to smoothen out the wall with some plaster. It's going to look nice when we sand it down. The final coat is finally coming on nicely. And it's time to discuss the other colors that we're going to introduce. And you said before, Carl, that we're going to use the yellow, green, and the brown, the brownish red that we've been using in the library and in the study before.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to use all of them, but at least try with a few of them. See how it turns out.
The idea is to use these 3 colors, but to add a little bit more brown into them and see if that could work more nicely to the brown base. I'm going to start with the green one. And then hopefully, if I add brown, this is the same chocolatey brown that we've used for the base. I don't want to buy any more paint. We have so much already. So hopefully this will become a nicer color towards together with the brown. Okay, let's try this one out. So together with the brown, this green version looks like this. I think it still looks a bit too colorful, so I'm gonna add more brown. So let's see if this is our winner. A little bit more brown. Okay, maybe we can stop there with the green and then continue with the reddish brown and the yellow, and then see if we need to add more brown into some of the colors. So I'm gonna do the red now. Okay, let's try this one out. Oh, nice. I like this. First batch of yellow and brown didn't work out at all. That turned green again. So now we used yellow together with the red one to see if that could become more of a fudge tone.
As a young girl, the fields were mine. We played hide and seek for hours, raised our shadows among the pines. So offshore, playful and free, without a care in the world. I was one rich little girl, daydreamer, kidnap me, take me back, all the way back to them days, running around in a gown and a crown, barefoot.
So here's a quick update. So I got the first one in place actually. I have the bottom of it, and obviously the baseboard will go at the very bottom of it all. And then I have this return thing in the middle, and then it actually goes up and it returns at the top as well, to sort of cap that off in the literal sense. And I think it looks really good. And the idea with this entire thing, obviously, is to paint this in the yellow so that that yellow follows up top. And I'm going to build a similar one going down here. And so with that, you can sort of case in the yellow part of the room. And then I'm going to do a similar thing, or an exact copy of it all here in the green part of it. So that one will follow and also end up there. And all of that ties into this puppy where we have that molding. That's the same molding as this one. And the inner parts of this, although I have ripped it down, is actually based on a version of what goes around in the study. So everything's tied together. And you see those returns up there. Oh, ho, ho, ho. I love the look of those. In the library, we have similar ones, although smaller, but it is the same crown molding up top. Cue the applause. I know you're impressed. So am I. On to the next one. So what I did to the moldings that I use currently is that I had these laying around and they are a bit too wide for my purposes. So I actually just, if I put it on top, you can see what I trimmed off on the right side and on the left side to get it down from like 45 millimeters down to like 33, 32. And that makes all the difference. And the reason why I took off on the right side is that if I hadn't, I would get sort of a shadow in between these two bits. And I don't like that shadow, so I took that away so that this becomes flush. And I think the result is much better. You've been asking for a deeper dive into some of our past renovation projects, and today we're excited to take you back to one of our favorites. So here's a closer look at a house we transformed. In 2016, we were living in a city apartment, dreaming of owning a house. After browsing the listings, this was the very first one we visited, and we actually ended up buying it. Built in 1906 for a shoemaker's family, the house had its business in the basement. Though a 1960s renovation covered much of the original charm, it was exactly the kind of adventure we were looking for, a treasure hunt waiting to happen. Once we started demolition, there was no shortage of 1960s material to tear down. Layers of dated renovations that had masked the house's true character. But as we peeled back the decades, the original charm began to emerge. Beautiful details from 1906 that had been hidden for years, waiting to be rediscovered. We uncovered original hardwood floors and classic beadboard hidden beneath the layers. But getting everything back in shape was a massive project, and we did most of the work ourselves. Luckily, we were 30, full of energy, and had no big obligations. Well, that is, until we decided to get married and have a baby. And suddenly, the timeline got a lot more urgent. When it came to the kitchen, I went full DIY. I decided to build the entire thing from scratch. No flat pack furniture here. Luckily, I had a workshop at our country home, so I basically turned that into my second home. I built everything, the carcasses, the jars with dovetail joints, because why make it easy on myself, and every single door. Then came the fun part, transporting it all back to Stockholm. Imagine loading up our car like a game of Tetris, except with kitchen cabinets. There was a lot of careful, don't scratch that, and how does it all going to fit moments. But in the end, I got it all installed, and yes, to the best of my knowledge, it's still standing today. We lived in that house for 3 years, and it turned out great. Of course, in true fashion and on brand for being us, we enjoyed about 6 months of it before deciding to sell. Typical, right? We packed up everything, left the city behind, and moved out to our country home, where we pulled off the same crazy renovation stunt all over again. But more on that house another time. If you guys are enjoying our content, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and share this with your friends. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for what's next.